Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel, Curiosity Box, and in this video I'm going to do the This or That book tag. So I'll put a link to where I first saw the tag and who originated the tag in the underbar. So let's get on with the questions. Number 1, audio or book in hand? Now I mostly prefer book in hand because and if I do listen to audio, I usually follow along in the book. Because if I'm just listening, I do have a tendency to drift off somewhere in my head, and I don't really take it in. So I like to follow it along in the book, and then it's easier to listen to. My favourite narrator is David Tennant. He could narrate anything, and I'd just watch it or listen to it because it's David Tennant. He's excellent at doing different voices, and most of the ones I've listened to have been Doctor Who ones. Now, I've also got some Jack Kerouac and Beat Generation audio stuff, but I mostly read book in hand because I feel that I can concentrate more on it. Question 2, soft cover or hardback? Now, most of my bookshelf has soft cover books because they fit on the shelf better, I suppose. But I think with a hardback book it's more exciting because we're so shiny and it's like, ooh, it's more like you're diving into a story with a hardback. And when I love hardback books for non-fiction because I love my art books because they're really exciting. Question 3, fiction or non-fiction? I love being taken into sort of a magical world and seeing it all play out in my head. It's just so enchanting to just see it all playing out in my head and just be in a different world. But I am a very, very curious person, and whenever the BBC puts a real cool documentary on and they talk about a book about it or something, I usually am very interested in getting the book as well. And also when I read Scientific American Mind, they always have the new psychology books, and I love psychology books and the popular science books with the psychology themes and things. So I do love a lot of non-fiction, so I'm just curious to learn more about stuff. A lot of this non-fiction I buy is art books, because I like to use them as references because I've got a project to do. So basically my answer to that is both. Question number 4, fantasy world or real life issues? Now I actually like a mix, so I like magic realism genre, so that's like the stuff that's based on Earth but there's sort of a magical happening or fantasy happening. So I really like stuff like that. I do on occasion read real life issues, but it's when I pick a book up, it's not a genre that pulls me in really when I'm just browsing books. So I prefer the magic realism as something imaginative happens or something. Question number 5, Harry Potter or Twilight? Now, I read Twilight a bit before the first movie came out, and I enjoyed it at the time of reading it. And I went to see the first movie and sort of dressed up a bit as Edward Cullen. And I think I did a makeup slideshow video of my makeup and stuff. Well, it was meant to be Edward Cullen. I don't know if I look like that. But anyway, but after I'd read it, I did watch Merriman's version of Twilight, and they're hilarious, and I love them. So, but I definitely, I have to say, choose Harry Potter. I started reading the box set of books for the first time 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've nearly completed reading it all. And it's just, I'm going to do a proper video once I've read it, just giving a few thoughts about what I thought of it. But it's just, so it's just seeing all the different characters and how it's like structured all the way through. So you've got it structured as the school year all the way through. I thought that helped me a lot to stay concentrating on the book, because what I don't like about fantasy genres is sometimes when it's just a big story and there isn't any structure. But with Harry Potter, it's nicely structured out, and I really enjoyed it. So I'll probably do a little video of more about that. So yeah, my choice is Harry Potter. Question number 6: Kindle, iPad, or other? Now, with the iPad, I like it when it's interactive, because I recently got one of the apps that's like a little kid's story. It's only like about 6 pages long, but you get to press little buttons and change the scene, and if you press a button, it changes the writing. Then you have to slide this bit, then you have to press this bit, and then press another button, and then sort of press another, and I really like that. So I really like on the iPad if it's like proper interactive and you're proper changing the story. Because I also had a look at the free like sneak preview, well not sneak preview, this free preview of the Alice book, the interactive Alice book. I don't think it's very good, because most of it's writing and I just skip past it because I just didn't want to read it because it was boring. Because I wanted to just get to the interactive bits, but all it was you just flipped something and it doesn't make any difference to the story or the scene or anything. It's just something overlaid on the top, and I just wasn't impressed. So if it's proper like point and click adventure stuff on the iPad, then that's brilliant. Now Kindle, I don't really want a Kindle, because to be honest, I need to see my books to remember what books I've got and to remind me to read them all, and I just love being able to see all my book collection. If I had a Kindle, I'd just forget what books I've got on it, and it just wouldn't prompt me to want to read them. And also, I think, although I haven't had extensive use of a Kindle, I think it would be a lot more comfortable holding a book than a Kindle, for me personally. And also, it's a lot easier to just flip back a few pages and flip back to where you were, just check some things. It's like, because sometimes I read something and then you just flip back a few. So I'll Kindle, and it just seems really confusing. And I like being able, when I'm reading a book, I like being able to close it and then do that, saying, oh, I've only got a bit left. And then also you can gauge how long your reading time is, because if you're just waiting for half an hour for something, you just got to read a bit, you just flip that and see how much you reckon you'll get read or whatever. With Kindle, you can't do that. I mean, I think it's got a bar seeing how far along you are in the book, but it's like, there's no book, it's just a machine. I think the fact that it's a machine would also take me out of the story. So I'd have to say iPad for interactive stuff and real books otherwise. Question number 7, borrow or buy? Now, I used to borrow books from the library, but it's round here, it's not exactly convenient to get to the library. So yeah, I tend to buy most of my books. So yeah, if it was a bit more convenient to get to the library, I probably would borrow more library books. But yeah, I tend to buy most of them. Question number 8, bookstore or online? Now, the advantages of a bookstore is you get to flip through the book and see if it's any good first of all. And also at the bookstore, you get to see all the coffee table books. And it's like, oh, it's a big book, it's a big massive book, and you get to have a look. So you do get to have a look in all the really huge massive books, but then I'd probably go and buy it online, because then you wouldn't have to carry it home then. But I like hugging books, so it's nice to go to the bookshop for a nice book cuddle. That's mainly with art books and that. But when you buy online, it's like go to a book what you're interested in, and then it says, oh, this is what other people looked at, and then you click that, and then just go on this magical literature journey all the way through all these different books, and you probably get to see a lot more books than you would have if you'd just gone straight to the bookstore and just got the exact one you want. You get to see all the different ones, and it takes you on a really huge journey, and you discover more books that way. So I would definitely say I prefer online. Question 9. One-time book or trilogy? Now, I've read The Lord of the Rings, and I've nearly done Harry Potter, and I read the John Marsden Tomorrow When the War Began books, but I'd have to say I prefer one-time books. Because unless it's really good series, I tend to get a bit bored easily. So I prefer one-time books because of my attention span, really. And also because there's a lot more one-time books than like series books. So I've got the K-Pax books and I've read the can't help me. The Golden Compass books, I've read that. But yeah, I do prefer one-time books, really. Because then it's like the incredible feeling when you finish your book. It's like when you finish the particular story, it's like, completed it. And then you can go into a whole new adventure with the next book. So that's what I like. Question number 10. Monster read or short and sweet? I think somewhere in the middle. I do tend to get a bit bored if it's a big book, but I don't like them too short. So just somewhere, a happy medium, really. But obviously, it does depend on how good the book is. So it's sometimes like you want the story to last a bit longer, or sometimes you get like, oh, this is so boring. So a bit in the middle, really. Question number 11. Starry-eyed romance or full of action? Now, I really don't like chick lit. I just don't like it, and I don't like all the family drama stuff. So I don't like starry-eyed romance. Now, this is a bit in the middle. I like, I've read the Dan Brown books when I got bored of that kind of genre. So I'd say somewhere in the middle. So the magic realism, I like when it's like sort of actiony and that. My favourite thing in magic realism, I quite like gentlemen in bowler hats and long coats. I like that in magic realism. It's fun because it's like that. That's what magic realism is. It's like, ooh, that's a movement for magic realism. So, a bit in the middle, I guess. Although I have got some kind of soppy books, but they're not straight chick lit. They've sort of got a sort of twist to them. So, question number 12. Curl up in snuggie or bathe in the sun? Well, first of all, I would not curl up in a snuggie. I would curl up in a slanket, which is the original and the best. So, yes, I think definitely curl up. Either curl up in bed or curl up on the sofa or curl up in my reading chair, which I should tidy up so I can actually curl up in it. So, bathing in the sun, I think I'd just feel like it was a waste of sun. I'd rather take advantage of the sun and just run round and play and stuff. So, definitely curl up and read a good book in the warm and snuggle. Question 13. Hot chocolate or latte? No, I'd have to say neither. I prefer a nice big cup of tea. I love big cup of tea mugs. Big massive mugs can have a nice huge vat of tea in it. I love that. And I like cookies. And cake. That's nice. Question 14. Read the review or decide for yourself. When I'm in the supermarket and I'm looking at books, sometimes I'll decide for myself, but I do look at the reviews on Amazon. Just have a quick look at them. So I kind of do have a quick look at the reviews, but then I'll pick the books I want, I guess. So a bit of both, really. So those are my answers for the this or that book tag. I tag everybody who wants to do the tag. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.